a day with fun and have a laugh a day. Have yourself a real nice Saturday. Saturday is TISWAS, every day to miss, 'cause Saturday is TISWAS day. Saturday is TISWAS, every day to miss, 'cause Saturday is TISWAS day. Saturday, Saturday, Saturday is TISWAS day. Saturday, Saturday, Saturday is TISWAS, every day to miss, 'cause Saturday is TISWAS day.
We go back again. In fact, if any of you are going over to the continent this summer, here's Arnold, our resident expert, with a few helpful hints for travellers in Europe.
Hello there. As my colleague rightly says, I'm here with a few helpful hints for travellers going to Europe. Quiet, please. Jokes haven't come yet. The first thing to do is do everything in your power to avoid the place. It's a long way away. It's full of foreigners, most of whom who can't even speak decent English. Smell of garlic, go around with onions hanging off their bicycles and carry black puddings in the shoulder holsters under their sweaty European armpits. Not that I have anything personally against Europeans. Some of my best friends have spoken to Europeans. What, at least shouted at them, you know. Hello, show off, Frenchie. What a badge in court then. That gets the moral superiority straight away. Let them know. Let them know historically where you're standing. But don't mention Leeds United, right? OK, and if you do have to go to the place, turn over the card. Thank you. Whatever you do... Well, a magic broken. Whatever you do, don't eat the food. They're always eating it, and millions of them die every year. And that can't be just coincidence, can it? So, make sure you boil everything you eat, drink, and sit on. Another thing, why do you think they have so many nice little tables outside the restaurants, eh? 'Cause they don't allow them in there! With their stinking garlic-filled breath putting off the tourist train, eh? And a word about going to the toilet. Don't. If you can possibly avoid it. It's difficult, I know, on a 2-week package tour, but if you can hold out, you'll come home laughing. Well, yeah, grinning anyway. Buildings, a lot of people crack up the buildings abroad. Very nice, you know, not so well designed as far as I can see. Look at Venice. So badly put up, it floods every year, right in the middle of the summer. Pisa, television tower's 900 years old, leaning over. Reception's bloody terrible. Terrible, sorry. God, it's 10:30. So next time you're offered 2 free tickets for an all-expenses-paid holiday in Monte Carlo, get behind the dustbin, flap your arms up and down, pretend you're a penguin. They'll soon go away and leave you to enjoy Mablethorpe as you have done every year. Me, personally, well, I shall be going up to bang my head against a brick wall in the Durham area, as I have for the last 10 years. Very nice, cheap holiday, and leaves you lovely and relaxed afterwards. But as I say, if you do have any problems about dealing with the filthy foreigners, just write to me, Arnold Goatbender, Chairman, British Tourist Board. Thank you very much. Good night.
Saturday is TISWAS, never a day to miss, 'cause Saturday is TISWAS day.
Hello, welcome back. We'll be talking to Michael Palin in just a second, but last week the How team were here and they were asking you to write in with any Hows that you'd like to see on the new series of How, which starts in May. If you have a How that you'd like to see on the screen, then write in to this address. Please don't send your queries in to us. Write into this address, which is How, Southern Television, Northam, Southampton. OK?
Yes, that's right. We've had an awful lot that have been sent to TISWAS. Obviously, we don't want them. Southern Television,
thank you
Angus
very
Ride and Fred Darnish can sort them out at their end.
Yes, lovely.
Right, absolutely. Sorry. Oh, that was an ad-lib. Sorry.
An ad-lib? That's not allowed on this show.
Oh, that wasn't an ad-lib. No, that.
How are you, anyway?
I'm a little bit hoarse. I'm sorry about that first thing. I only got the script at 10:15 when I got off the train. Still. Train, good link.
Ah.
I'm very well, actually.
We're going to be giving this train away in a minute, but I'll
I think we're
stop
better
it
as
just
bus.
a second.
Yes.
Terry, since we Terry.
Yeah,
Michael.
I'll come in again.
John.
Yeah. Terry.
I love Fawlty Towers.
Brilliant.
Since you were last here, you've been involved in making a film, haven't you?
Yes.
Time Bandit.
Yes, that's
Tell
right.
us a bit about it.
Well, actually, Terry Gilliam is the man
Yes,
who
that was
sort
what I
of
was thinking of.
conceived it, and
Yeah.
he brought me in to write the dialogue and also do a small part in it, and it's called Time Bandits, and it's about, well, it's about a sort of kid, well, imaginative little boy who lives in this rather boring house, and suddenly in the middle of the night, 6 strange dwarves arrive in his room, and these little... Thank you, boss. I thought it was a cue. These little people are in fact the Time Bandits, and they used to work for the supreme being at the creation of the world. You know, he made the big stuff, mountains, rivers, all that sort of thing. They made trees and small shrubs. And they made them so badly, they were given the sack. So they run away, but they
Shut up, Lenny.
It's good. It's very good, very good. No, try that again, Lenny. They get the sack. It didn't work so well that time.
No.
And they run off through history with this map, which has a map of the holes in time and space, so they can go from any period in history and back to another one. So they do this sort of petty robbery thing of robbing in one period and then going back, hiding out in a period 500 years before the man they've robbed was even born.
Oh,
This is only just part of it.
Enough, Mike. Yes,
Oh,
that's just the opening title.
It's very, that's exactly,
You went to
that's
get
the
to the
supporting
main
film.
Well, to confuse you
Very good.
further, we've got
For
a clip
kids
from this film,
and grown-ups.
and we're going to pick you up where an old galleon is sailing through uncharted seas, carrying a number of little people. And the fog they've been sailing through begins to clear, but other surprises are ahead. And the captain of the ship, incidentally, I wonder why they're on you while I'm speaking, is Kenny Baker, who you may know better as R2-D2. Great.
Here it comes. Here comes our microphone.
Oh, good. We can speak.
Hello.
What are the sort of things you're working on? I mean, I'm always interested in what you do. A lot of people don't see you for about a year or so. What sort of things are you getting up to apart from that?
Well, the thing is, always writing something new takes ages, and people think you're out of a job. You know, they see me wandering around at home. They say, what, are you going to be doing the milk round or something? You'd be lucky. But actually, we are writing 2 films. We're supposed to be writing another Python film, which is taking rather a long time to get a follower.
Why is that? Because you basically all can't agree, or...?
Well, yes, really. It is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. No. It's just difficult to get something after The Life of Brian and Grail, which are both very different and both sort of had something to say as well as jokes. And it's just difficult to find what the next subject to do. So we're doing our own separate films as well. And
I'm working on that
And
one
the
in the
milk
meantime. And the milk
And the milk round of the
yeah.
meantime.
One of the things that you have actually been appearing on television talking about, was a great love of your life, is the railways, isn't it? As Sally said, we've got 3 of these.
yes.
Oh, wrong way. Hang on.
Very good.
Wonderful. I bought myself a set.
Nice, isn't it?
You really are a great train fan, aren't you?
Yeah, that's a nice one. I like that engine. So I'm going to get one of those.
Are you? Maybe you'll win the
You can
competition.
only find these engines in models now.
Right, perhaps you can help us with this competition, Mike. We've basically got 3 of these to give away to, obviously, to train fans. 'Cause it's quite a difficult competition, this, actually. Could you just let me see them on? Let's have a look at this. Steam engines, you probably know, perhaps you don't, but they used to be classified by the number of wheels they've got, basically. I mean, if you have a look at this first one, it's a 262. Have a look at that. That means it's got 2 at the front, 6 in the middle, and 2 at the end. That's right, isn't it? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, you understand that. Right, here are.
yes,
We're going to show you
yes,
3
yes,
more
yes.
steam engines. We want to know if you can work out what their classification numbers are. 3 more steam engines, what are their classification numbers? Basically count the wheels. We'll have a look at those. There they come any second now.
The runaway train came down the track and she blew. The runaway train came down the track, her whistle wide and her throttle black, and she blew. The engineer said the train must halt and she blew. The engineer said the train must halt and she blew. The engineer said the train must halt. He said it was all the fireman's fault and she blew. Now the fireman said he rang the
Yeah, that's the first part. It's not easy, this, actually, because prior to nationalisation of the railways, the country's railway system was mainly controlled by 4 companies. OK, there's a map of Britain coming up with parts of the 4 main lines marked in it, but we've mixed up the names. We want you to tell us how we should have correctly labelled those lines.
The fireman said he rang the bell. The engineer said you did like, and she blew. The porter got an awful fright and she blew. The porter got an awful fright and she blew. The porter got an awful fright. He got so scared he near turned white and she blew.
That's right, these rather nice ones here. So that's a special prize, really, because he's here for you
Very nice.
railway enthusiasts.
Can I have one?
You win the competition?
You can enter, but I think you're probably a little on the old side, Mike.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I'll get it wrong. I thought that map was fine.
Can I give you All sorts of records have immediate sort of spin-offs, but one that I didn't think anybody could possibly try and follow was Joe Dolce's Shut Up Your Face. Here's Lee Brennan with his Scouse version of Shut Up Your Face, Shut Up Your Gob.
There now follows an appeal. This is also being broadcast on BBC One, BBC Two, Radio 1, 2, 3 and 4, and most good service stations.
Hello. I am very disturbed, as you can probably tell, by the threat posed to Plankton by the presence of huge, hulking great whales. Now, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 plankton here, or even the dimmer plankton. I'm talking about 84 million plankton per gulp. This means that despite the best efforts of the Russian and Chinese and Japanese governments to eliminate the great plankton eaters of our seas, it means that every time, in the time it takes Margaret Thatcher to do her hair, over 604,000 million plankton have become whale snack somewhere in the world. The worst offenders are the baleen whales. The baleen whales, and I quote from a book here, slide through shoals of plankton with their mouths open. Where is the battle in that? Where's the epic struggle of the deep there, eh? You imagine it. You're floating along with 83.5 million friends on a Sunday morning, doing nothing more than creating oxygen, when out of the west, comes a huge baleen whale with its mouth open. Not even hungry, just gormless. Woomph! 1,000 million plankton gone, he hasn't even had his breakfast. This is where SLOP comes in. SLOP stands for Save Lots of Plankton and is an international ecological organisation based at my flat, or my mother's when I'm out. Next week, we are starting Plankton Pride Week, climaxing with a huge gathering of plankton at the Royal Albert Hall, Hull. Come along, bring microscopes, especially if you're sitting in the back row, and let us show to the world that 12,000 billion plankton can't be wrong. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to this, the last but one Compost Corner.
Last but one Compost Corner!
Now, obviously, logically, that means that next week we'll be doing the very last ever Compost Corner.
Very last ever Compost Corner!
And, of course, I can still remember the first ever Compost Corner.
First ever Compost Corner!
And there have been so many Compost Corners in between. A bit later on, we'll be talking to a soft drinks millionaire who earlier today threw a High Court judge into his fruit crushing machine and got legal aid. But first, that's funny, but first, my special guest, at Sentinel of the Soil, come in, Professor D.P. Gumby. D.P.
Yes, D.P. Where are you? Where's your voice coming from? I hear things with my brain,
You're
but I
almost
don't
certainly
see.
one of, I think I can say probably the most respected gardening authorities in Britain. I think I can say that. Can I? I'd like to if I could. It would please me enormously to be able to say that.
Have a go, have a go. Have a go and say it. Say it with your mouth.
One of the most respected, if not the most respected, gardening authorities in Britain.
Yes, yes, whatever you say, I am.
Of all the many
my brain.
flowers in your...
Oh, it slipped on the other side of my head.
Of all
Can
the
you
many,
just leave it there? Oh, there.
Of all the many flowers in
Bonjour.
your marvellous...
Bonjour.
Marvellous garden.
Hello, Dickie. Yeah.
Which do you think is your great personal favourite in your garden, flowers?
Rosemary Clooney.
Rosemary Clooney. What exactly does it look like? What's his
Oh, I
petrol
don't
formation?
know. I don't know why. What? Yes, it's gone over there now. It gets to cut in my ear. Oh, it's gone down by the knee. It's gone down by the knee. My brain is by the knee.
It's all the same with you, DP. I think I'll leave it where it is. I'm not going down there for however much money I'm getting for this item. I think of all the many things you are respected for,
Got it.
DP. I think probably you're best known for your flower arranging.
I say great. Yes, great. It's a great hobby. It's my hobby. I'm very good at it. It's my hobby.
Yes, I know that.
That's what I was going to say when I first came on.
Well, before the brain went.
Oh, yes.
Perhaps you could give us a demonstration of your great hobby.
Yes,
flower
Dickie.
arranging.
Yes, Dickie, I will.
Now?
No.
This morning? Ideally before 12:30.
Yeah, before 12:30. What's the time?
It's getting on 12.
Oh, I have not got my watch on. Oh, yes, that is, yes. 12:15.
The flower arranging.
First take!
Yes.
Was this the chicken I was working with earlier?
It's not
I think that's the best thing for it.
right, the flower.
First take! A bunch of flowers. Pretty begonias, tulips, chrysanthemums. Arums. Then arrange them. Artistically in a vase. Ooh. Get into the vase. Get in there. Get into the vase. Oh, get in. Oh, I'll carry myself off. Oh. No, I won't.
Well, thank you very much, Professor D.P. Gumbley. That's more than enough for this morning. That's the lot from this, the last but one ever Compost Corner. Seems a shame to waste it while it's here. Don't forget to say this for our special guest a bit later on, but that's all from last ever Compost Corner but one. Here's Jamesy.
Hello, good evening and... Sorry. Hello, good evening and welcome to A Fist for Europe, the game you all love to play. And let's see, tonight's contestant is Mr. Arnold Goat Butterer, the Conservative MP for Moscow Southeast. Come in, Arnold. Hello, Arnold.
Hello.
Lovely to have you on the show.
Well, it's so nice to be here, sir. Thank you.
Good. Have you any special hobbies yourself?
Yes. Well, I've got my pigeons.
Yes.
Yes.
Where are they at the moment?
Well, they're down my trousers, actually.
I see, yes.
Yes, there they are.
Certainly gets the bird. Well, now, do you have any special messages for anyone watching you tonight who's going to be rooting for you here on A Fist for Europe?
I'd just like to say hello to Mummy. Hello. How are you?
Yeah.
All right.
I'd like to say hello, Mummy, too. You wouldn't think we had the same Mummy, but anyway. Here we go. And now on to A Fist for Europe. The rules are very simple. You have 1 minute in which to knock down as many Europeans as you possibly can. Here we have some sample Europeans. So, are you ready? We have the clock there. You have 1 minute, Mr. Goat Butterer, to knock down all these Europeans. So let's go. Off we go. Now! And the clock is down. The clock is down, and... getting up again. The German is down again. He's doing very well. Yes, he's doing almost...
Oh, the hairs on his leg are mixed with...
And watch it returns tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock with Bandits.